Android and iOS gaming is getting bigger and better with each consecutive year, and 2019 looks set to be the best yet. We've rounded up the best upcoming mobile games of 2019 for you here, some of which look so good it's hard to believe you'll be able to play them in the palm of your hand. Hi, this is Phil from Make Tech Easier, and this is new iOS and Android games to look forward to in 2019. The first month of 2019 is behind us. Hooray! We're out of the Christmas hangover month of January and into frosty February, which means it's still early enough in the year to look forward to new iOS and Android games coming out in 2019. It's good to see that more and more reputable indie and AAA developers are paying attention to mobile platforms, as evidenced by the wealth of impressive games lined up for this year. From massive shooters to meditative multiplayer experiences, 2019 is set to be a good year in mobile gaming. Stardew Valley, iOS and Android. A slow-paced relaxathon. Don't worry, we'll get to the shooty-bang stuff shortly. Stardew Valley is already out on iOS, but will also be making its way to Android at some point in 2019. If you've ever played Harvest Moon, you'll get the idea here, even though Stardew Valley builds on the farmstead concept in all the right ways. So it's a farming game, as you've probably gathered, tasking you with taking over a neglected farm and turning it into a flourishing business and home. It has a lovely naturalistic art style and feels a bit more pacey than Harvest Moon, the game from which it took its inspiration, with the time it takes to nurture crops and animals being considerably quicker. Amidst all the meditative humdrum of farming, it has a great story too. Sky, iOS. From the creators of artful indie hits Flower and Journey comes Sky. It casts you as a child of shadow who must journey through a beautiful world filled with puzzles, platforming and stunning scenery. It's a third-person game with great animation and an art style that has shades of Breath of the Wild, while still standing out as its own thing. A crucial element here that wasn't in the developers' previous games is multiplayer, which lets you fly through the skies and skip over stones alongside your friends. There's almost no UI, and you control things with small swiping moves, which feels like a perfect fit for that game company's unique floaty style. It's currently possible to play in beta, with the full release expected at some point in 2019. Call of Duty Legends of War, iOS and Android. For a mobile spin-off of the most grotesquely popular video game franchise, this one's received surprisingly little coverage. But Call of Duty Legends of War is definitely a thing, as evidenced by the fact that the beta is currently ongoing as we speak. It looks like the game is being launched in Asian markets before coming out west, but it looks every bit the COD experience, with classic fast-paced modes including Free for All, Search and Destroy, Team Deathmatch and Frontline making an appearance. If your trigger finger's feeling too itchy to wait, you can actually download the APK for the beta right now, link in the description. After you download it, then you need to exit the game and install the OBB file. Castlevania Grimoire of Souls, iOS. Does the beloved Castlevania series still have the magic that brought us so much Metroidvania joy throughout the 90s and noughties? Well, we're about to find out thanks to the upcoming release of Grimoire of Souls, the first new Castlevania game in years. Naturally, it's tailored to mobile with more swipey controls and attacks, but from what we've seen and heard from the familiar soundtrack, it retains that Castlevania spirit. The new feature here is the cooperative mode, which will allow you and up to 3 others to journey through the dungeons, keeps and creepy courtyards of this vampiric world together. Age of Civilizations 2, Android. The first Age of Civilization was one of the deepest strategy games available on mobile platforms, a sweeping global wargame that eschews graphical fanciness in favour of grand strategic masterminding. The sequel, already out on PC, builds on the original game, taking it more in the direction of a Paradox grand strategy game like Europa Universalis or Crusader Kings. How does it do this? There is much more political intrigue this time around, letting you come to all kinds of diplomatic agreements, foment or suppress revolutions, and of course declare endless wars. Despite the extreme depth, it manages to keep the UI fairly comprehensible too, and is setting itself up to be the best way to live out your fantasies of global domination in the palm of your hand. Payday Crime War, iOS and Android. After all these years, mobile platforms are still lacking a truly definitive first-person shooter. Yes, you can point to Fortnite or PUBG Mobile, but those games are ports and will always be inferior to their console and PC counterparts. Payday Crime War, meanwhile, is a dedicated mobile game that's been years in the making and looks very promising. Following the premise of the main Payday series, Crime War tasks one team of players with robbing a bank, while the other team is a SWAT squad trying to defend it. It's fast-paced yet tactical, pitting two teams of 4 against each other across several meticulously designed maps with various objectives to complete. The Elder Scrolls Blades, iOS and Android. There's always going to be a frisson of excitement whenever an Elder Scrolls game is announced, even if that game is a relatively linear, free-to-play mobile game like this. Blades is more combat focused than your typical Elder Scrolls, but still looks like it captures the impressive visuals and twinkling ambience that the mainline series is renowned for. Combat looks satisfying and impactful, with different swipes executing different attacks and spells. Interestingly, it will be playable both horizontally and vertically, making it suited to casual one-handed swiping on commutes, as well as more involved widescreen sessions. But the question remains, without a vast open world to explore, can it really capture that special Elder Scrolls feeling? Bad North, iOS and Android. The roguelite structure where death is permanent, yet skills and upgrades can carry over across multiple games, is a great fit for mobile gaming. Even though Bad North will be a PC port, the game's condensed take on real-time tactics and pretty minimal visuals should make the jump over to iOS and Android a smooth one. It's a tough little game, casting you as the lord of a small island that's being attacked from all sides by hordes of Vikings. Be prepared for some split-second strategizing and frantic maneuvering to prevent your island from being pillaged by the vicious rabble. Harry Potter Wizards Unite, iOS and Android. With Pokemon Go developer Niantic at the helm of a game set in one of the most beloved fictional worlds of all time, Wizards Unite feels like a surefire recipe for success. It's going to be an augmented reality game, of course, pitting you against creatures from the Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts universes during a dimension blending event known as the Calamity. Based on what we've seen, we know that you'll be able to cast spells and chase around golden snitches as you wander around the world looking for all kinds of magical secrets. Whether you play it or not, expect to hear a whole lot more about a game that seems destined to be one of the gaming phenomena of 2019. H1Z1, iOS and Android. The obligatory Battle Royale representative on this list, H1Z1 may not enjoy the success of its genre rivals on major platforms, but still offers a fun twist on the last man standing formula. You parachute down onto an island with up to 4 teammates and try to survive in an ever-shrinking game space filled with rival teams out to blow you away. It's not as realistic as PUBG, yet not quite as chaotic and colourful as Fortnite either, offering something in between that may just find its own audience. So which games are you most looking forward to on iOS and Android in 2019? Have we missed anything vital or included anything silly? It's possible. Let us know in the comments. Okay, as always, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, subscribe and leave a comment below. That's all for now. See you next time.